is up, everybody? Alright, spooky season is about done, but there are 2 days, two, and for the 31st and the 30th, I decided to do creepy videos. Now, Shane Dawson's thing has always been conspiracy theories. Mine is always about urban legends. Urban legends. They fascinate me. They're some of the most unique things that come out of folklore in general. So today, I figured I'd start this kind of maybe new series if people like it enough. I know I already have a bunch of series on the channel, but I like variety. Okay? And talk about urban legends state by state. And today, we're going to start with 8 urban legends in Arizona, where I live. Now these will be from basically cute and interesting to what the fuck and creepy. So, got my phone. Let's begin. The first one on our list is frying an egg on the sidewalk. Not a big deal. Doesn't seem like much of an urban legend, right? So let's start with some not so scary legends like this. Frying an egg on the sidewalk is actually more of an idiom due to the extreme heat felt in most areas of the state. But some people make attempts to see if this is actually true. The results so far? Theoretically, you could cook an egg on the sidewalk or asphalt, but don't expect it to fry quickly like your morning eggs. Plenty of people test this out each year with varied results. Some only end up with a gummy egg that has barely set in several hours, while others claim their eggs cooked within a matter of minutes. If you're sure you want to waste a couple of eggs trying to find out this summer, which, if you're watching this now, summer's already passed for 2019, there are plenty of online instructions on how to bake cookies in your car. So obviously this is a very simple sort of urban legend. It's not very interesting, it's just kind of like, yeah, you can cook an egg on a sidewalk and no one guarantees it'll work though. That's not overly creepy, it's just a little like, okay, weird. But it is an urban legend for Arizona because it gets very, very hot during the summer. I can attest. My shoulders were sunburned the minute I came to the state. That shows you how bad it gets. And I was only out there a couple minutes. Number 2 is the jackalope. One of my personal favorite urban legends. Because I heard about this in Colorado as well. And, believe it or not, as a kid I thought I saw one. So this has a very special place in my heart. Part jackrabbit, part antelope, all legend. This one actually extends across the American West, but still enjoys a prolific life in Arizona, where you can find the word emblazoned on street signs, tourist gifts, and festivals. Would you be sad to find out it was all a hoax? Okay, so I'm gonna kind of put this one to rest a little bit. I love the jackalope, not gonna lie. But apparently it did come from a hoax. That being said, the actual legend of the jackalope that came from the hoax started when a hunter, sorry, I got an itch in my leg, a hunter actually saw a jackrabbit that had horns due to a growth. So, in a way, it is a true legend. But not really true in the way that it has large antlers. It just has little horns. Number 3. Pancho Villa rode his horse up the steps of the Ganson Hotel in Douglas. I've never heard this one, so bear with me here. The horse damaged the Grand Over staircase, right? This one is a nice blurring of history and Wild West legend, but most folks will say this isn't true. This couldn't be true. The Ganson Hotel was around during the Mexican Revolutionary's lifetime, and Villa allegedly threatened to invade Douglas after losing the Second Battle of Valdo Prieta. However, Villa never went through on that particular threat, although his troops did attack a few towns in New Mexico. And the Gadsden Hotel, we see, was actually rebuilt after a 1929 fire, 6 years after Villa's death. That is interesting and a little spooky. My brain, reading that, went to maybe his ghost rode through. Maybe. Or maybe it was just a fire and we're all, like, over-exaggerating everything. Do you think he had time to write his horse at the marble staircase? Personally, no. I don't think he did. But anything's possible. Until time travel becomes a thing, we probably won't even know. Lost Dutchman's gold mine. This I know about. At least a little bit. So, I'm going to teach you, and I might learn a few things myself. So, let's get into it. So many down-on-their-luck folks have been tempted to spend a few days in the Superstition Mountains to see if they can locate the fabled Lost Dutchman's gold mine. Does it actually exist? The Dutchman, Jacob Waltz, does seem to have been a real person. But whether the mine exists and the legitimacy of any existing map stating the alleged location are under scrutiny. In other words, we don't know if it's real or not. At least a half-dozen people since the 1930s have died attempting to locate the mine, making it a deadly venture. The trail would take you around the Lost Dutchman State Park, but not to the mine. No map actually exists. See, now we're starting to get into the creepy stuff, and I really am here for it. This is one of the reasons that I am terrified of the Superstition Mountains, is that people have died there looking for this, because they want to be rich. They are that desperate. And honestly, it makes me wonder, does it exist? And if it does, has someone already claimed it? Has the ghost just of whoever this guy was looked at these people and said, "You're greedy. You don't get to have this"? Or maybe if it's someone who's not down their luck who goes to get it, maybe they can find it. Because keep in mind, it states explicitly that these are people who need it, who desire it to get out of their situation, who feel like it's their only way out. Maybe he doesn't like those kind of people. Who knows? There's a lot of questions. This might end up becoming its own video, though, because I do kind of want to go to the Superstition Mountains just to look around, but I don't really want to go looking for whatever this is. Obviously, I don't want to die, so let's move on. Number 5. The Moglin Monster. No idea what this is. This is a new one for me. But I betcha it's gonna be freaky. My first memory of the Moglin Monster happened as a child during the 90s. Back then, driving up the 87 with my family, there used to be a set of brightly colored footprints somewhere north of Payson that stumbled across the highway. These were made in homage to the Moglin Monster, Arizona's own version of Bigfoot. Although you couldn't convince my 10-year-old self they weren't real. Sightings have been reported as early as 1903, but its existence is dubious at best. Either way, you may want to stay vigilant during your next camping trip along the rim to avoid running into the Moglin Monster anytime soon. Alright, let me put it this way. I'm a personal believer in Bigfoot. I know that's a really weird thing for some people. I like to believe in the unexplained. And there's no fucking way that you could see this, some people could see this and it not be real. I know there's a whole thing about, well, so many people have seen it, how has nobody caught it? And, you know, I get that. But it doesn't stop me from believing it. You know, when there's so much eyewitness testimony, you kinda gotta think there's something out there. So, is this thing real? I don't know, but according to what this person said, you might want to watch yourself. Truth be told, I'm not certain on this one. The next one, though, we're getting really deep into folklore here. Number 6, El Chupacabra. Mangy dog/coyote, or an actual goat sucker. If you are from any part of the Southwest, you may have heard something about this strange creature, and probably multiple descriptions of what it looks like, ranging from an alien creature to possessing a more dog-like appearance. Whether or not it exists, this is another good reason to keep your small pets indoors at night. Okay, for those who don't know what the Chupacabra is, it's essentially a mysterious creature that will attack people, animals, whatever, and get its jaws on, drain them completely of blood, but only through a 3-pronged puncture wound in a shape like this, in the neck. And there's even instances of it taking organs, not just blood. So, is this some kind of alien? Is it a prank gone wrong? Or is it real? This is one question that I really want to know the answer to. Now, I'm more inclined to believe the mangy dog-looking one than I am the alien leaping at people from God knows where and, you know, all that stuff. I know that the alien one's more popular. I just kind of like the dog one more. It's a little more believable for me. Not that I don't believe in aliens, of course. I love aliens. And I would like to have proof that they exist, but it's a scarcity. And we may never know word alone. So, who knows which one's real? I don't. Okay, so these next ones may be a little triggering to certain people, maybe a little bit more scary. So if you're easily freaked out or you're superstitious, you might not want to listen to this one. Because number 7 is Ya Llorona. This had its own movie showing you just how much this urban legend means to people. Another legend with Mexican roots that is the common story around the West. Ya Llorona, or the Weeping Woman, has deep roots in Aztec stories, but generally, she is referred to as a woman who regrets drowning her children as an act of revenge on her husband. Adults will tell children to avoid wandering alone at night, especially near bodies of water, or being naughty, if they don't want to suffer the same fate at Ya Llorona's hands. If you're a man, it wouldn't hurt you to avoid these two, unless you want a chance being mistaken for her cheating husband. You know, just in case. Oof, okay. That one freaks me out a little bit. Now, honestly, would I confuse her? I think I'd confuse her. Because, you know, trans person. So obviously is that I do have some very interesting implications on a lot of things involving folklore, because it's like, oh, if you're a man or woman, but what if you don't identify as either of those? What if you are a trans person who has transitioned? Well, would she see you as a woman? I hope so. Oh, she does, and she supports us. She's not a good person. I'm not saying that. She's like the Caitlyn Jenner of ghosts. Not a good person, but definitely is in the community. That is a weird connection. Let's move on. Number 8. This one... I don't know. This one sends a chill up my spine, so... bear with me here. Skinwalkers. You want to get really scared? Listen to a few accounts about the Navajo Skinwalker, and you will rethink about being outdoors alone at night again. Trust me, I already am. Unlike the popular shapeshifters referred to in media as skinwalkers or shapeshifters, the Navajo version has roots in witchcraft. My people, it is someone you truly do not want to encounter. If you want to hear a personal account, Navajos will mention the numerous ways a skinwalker can witch a person, and why they make for dangerous encounters. If you want a fictional account, read the Town Hellman book. Now, my only problem with this is it doesn't tell you anything. So, to kind of give you guys a little bit of insight here into what a skinwalker is, because we have a lot of insight into the other stuff, like it's pretty simple and self-explanatory. We're gonna look into what a skinwalker is. Okay. In Navajo culture, a skinwalker, or Yanmalushi, is a type of harmful witch who has the ability to turn into, possess, or disguise themselves as an animal. The term is never used for healers. So if you're a medicine man or somebody who heals them or heals people, you will never have this term used. These are dark, hateful people, basically. Now a little bit of background. In the Navajo language, Yinalushi translates to, by means of it, it goes on all fours. While perhaps the most common variety seen in horror fiction by non-novel people, the Yinolushi is one of several varieties of a specific type of... I don't know how to read that. I'm going to try not to, but I'll try to not butcher this. Antijin, a type of skinwalkers. The legend of skinwalkers is not well understood outside Navajo culture, mostly due to the reluctance to discuss the subject with the outsiders. Navajo people were elected to reveal their lore to non-Navajos, or to discuss it at all amongst those they do not trust. So basically, we know next to nothing. Okay, let's see. Navajo witches, including skinwalkers, represent the antithesis of Navajo cultural values. While community healers and cultural workers are known as medicine men and women, or by terms in the logical indigenous language, witches are seen as evil, performing twisted ceremonies and manipulating magic in a perversion of the good works medicine people traditionally tried to perform. I don't see it that way, but I'm not gonna, tell them that, like, that's their way of viewing it. In order to practice their good works, traditional healers learn about both good and evil magic. Most can handle the responsibility, but some can become corrupt and choose to become witches. Don't know if I should feel offended or not, seeing as I'm pagan, but I do a little bit of witchy stuff. I do wear a pentacle. I don't know, maybe they're talking about a specific type of witches. Now on to the legend. Animals associated with witchcraft usually include tricksters, such as the coyote, but can include other creatures, usually those associated with death or bad omens. They may also possess living animals or people and walk around in their bodies by locking eyes with them. Skinwalkers may be male or female. Doesn't say anything about me, so I'm not a skinwalker. But could I be? No. I'm not. Shapeshifting would be cool, though. I'm getting off topic. Skinwalker stories told among Navajo children may be complete life and death struggles that end in either Skinwalker or Navajo killing the other, or partial encounter stories that end in a stalemate. So it's usually involving combat. Encounter stories may be composed as Navajo victory stories, with the Skinwalkers approaching a Hogan and being scared away. Now, if you don't know what a Hogan is, it's essentially a type of dwelling. It's a house that looks a little bit like this. So, there you go. Non-native interpretations of Skinwalker stories typically take the form of a partial encounter story along the road, where the protagonist is temporarily vulnerable, then escapes from the Skinwalker in a way not traditionally seen in Navajo stories that take place away from home. Sometimes, Navajo children take European folk stories and substitute Skinwalkers for generic killers like the Hook. Okay, so that's a lot. Let's kind of think about this for a second here. These are evil individuals who use their medicine man magic, basically, for healing skills for the wrong reasons. They corrupt it, they turn evil, and thus they transform into something vicious, something cruel. They can turn into animals and like to torment people. The reason that scares me is that I do have a little bit of Native American blood in me, and I've been told it's Apache, but it might be Navajo. I don't really know. And it might even be like the most minute amount, but it does matter that I have a little bit in me at all. There's a part of me that's just like, this could be real, and it's scary. Can you imagine though, like walking along a road or driving, and you start to hear yips of coyotes in the distance, and they start to surround you. They start to get closer. And you see one run across the road and you don't think anything of it. But then one suddenly stands up and it's wearing a fur of a coyote. Oh my god, that is a scary thing. Honestly, if you want a little bit more info and to see kind of a visual representation, I recommend you look up Lost Tapes Skinwalker. Lost Tapes may not be the best source of info for some people, but it did help get me more into urban legends. And they have a bunch of episodes. And, they were played up a lot, like, the thing with the Yeti, like, ripping people's arms off and stuff. Like, obviously that's really played up and it's fake. But it is very fascinating to realize that these people... These could be, like, real things that could happen to someone if they run into one of these urban legends. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my little urban legend talk. I love this kind of stuff. I like knowing what the weird parts of each state are. Obviously, Arizona's pretty tame in comparison to some other places I've been. Like, obviously, Colorado's got, like, the Stanley Hotel and everything. But what do you guys think? Should I do these for each state and kind of just make this a running thing? Should it be a spooky season only kind of deal? Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you stopping by. I always do. If you like what I do here, consider subscribing. Leave me a comment on the good stuff. You are beautiful, you're valued, you're important. That is very, very, very important to me and everyone up here. And I will see you in the next video that I make. So until then, goodbye.